This is a Heartifact Network podcast. Find us at heartifactstudios.com.au.
Welcome back to Australia Mania. It's only wrestling podcast called Australia Mania. I'm your host, Ricki Needs, as always, joined by Michael Thompson.
Hello, Rickster.
And David Yang.
Guten Oven. Let's get this bread, Chiefs.
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Millennial things.
Oh, god damn it. Anyway, boys, how are we?
Yeah, good. It's been one of those weeks in wrestling.
I've just enjoyed.
Yeah. A bit's happened, which I'm looking forward to dissecting this week.
Mania's taking shape. I think now we're walking down the road. We're no longer just looking at the road. We're having a stroll down that road.
We are. And the good thing, though, is I think at this point in time, with the matches that have already been confirmed, pending the other matches to still be announced, it's looking like a very solid Mania 35 card.
It really is.
Very solid. I'm pretty happy with what I've seen so far from it.
Shoot, I think it's going to be one of the better built Manias in a while. It's seeming like they're giving this Mania a fair bit of attention.
I'm just going to have a look for a sec, because last year, was Fastlane more than 4 weeks out from Mania?
It felt like that.
I think it was late February, wasn't it?
It is feeling like this pay-per-view is a bit how you doing.
Because like you come out of Mania, you literally have... Sorry, you come out of Fastlane, they've literally got 4 weeks left to build the rest of the card, which, I mean, in our minds, like, we know where they're going, but they haven't confirmed much of it on TV yet.
Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, obviously this week we got Batista and Triple H confirmed, and...
The major seeds are already planted.
They are.
Right?
It's just
we know the marquee matches.
It's just a matter of them now confirming everything else. It's like, who's Oscar going to face? Who's actually going to face Daniel Bryan? We know it's probably going to be Kofi, but we don't know for sure yet. They set up more of that on SmackDown this week. So we know the pieces in place, but we're just waiting for them to officially confirm where all these pieces... Like, because right now, like, who would you say Roman's going to face at WrestleMania?
Dean.
See, I would say it's going to be Drew.
I think it's going to be Drew as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically because I reckon those 2 Claymores to Dean were writing Dean off TV until his contract expires.
Wow.
Yep.
Okay. I respect that
perspective. If you looked at that entire show, after they did the last little fist bump in the ring and the little promo saying, we're done, instantly, both Seth and Roman changed into their singles shirts. Dean was left wearing the Shield shirt for the rest of the show.
Yeah. Which
Which means that he is no longer allowed to advertise his own merch because they're getting ready to remove it from the WWE store, and they're ready to be done with him. Because all the backstage rumors is he is 100% done. They tried to get Roman when he came back to try and coerce him to come back, or stay with the company, and it just hasn't worked.
And also for the fact as well that WWE have basically mentioned that Ambrose's future is very uncertain on numerous occasions over the last 24 to 48 hours.
But that's, for me, that thing was like, when they started mentioning it really heavily during Fastlane, I was like, maybe they're just, like, it's the old bait and switch. They're really, really like pushing it, and it's going to be like at Mania, he changes his mind and he's back.
It could still be a bait and switch.
It could still
be a bait and switch.
Also, Corey Graves. Sorry. I was taking my jumper off, so I didn't want anything to come through the microphone. Also, Corey Graves, for the fact, got a bit teary as well when he did mention the Shield at Fastlane 2 and all that, because that was him breaking out of character for that short moment to acknowledge how close he is with all 3 men, because they all went through NXT together.
Yeah. And Dean cried in the ring.
Oh, he did too.
And that leads me to believe. That made me actually tear up a bit, because goddamn it, it's Dean Ambrose.
Like, take away because we're all marks, so we're obviously going to look deeper and deeper into it and go, no, it's a work. Let's just take it on its face value and say it's not a work. Like, this is a shoot. No, it's actually going. If this is how he ends like this, then it's such a good ending. Like, he got to ride one last time with the Shield.
They really rushed his face turn.
And they've also reported as well that apparently dialogue of Dean leaving WWE, apparently both sides have been very professional about the whole situation too.
Yeah, like, Dean's been doing good by the company.
Dean has no ill will against WWE. WWE have no ill will against Dean leaving. Like, it's basically, it shows that Triple H has basically said to Dean, you can leave for now, but remember, you've always got it. Your door's always open. If you want to come back, we'll be happy to bring you back with open arms.
And I think that's the brilliance behind them utilizing it in story too. Yeah. Like, I can't remember, aside from CM Punk, which was a work shoot in a way, where they're like, well, his contract comes to an end, he hasn't re-signed. Aside from that, I can't imagine, or I can't think of any other time they've done this. No. Right? No. And to as much as we know it is shoot, right? He is actually going. And if that is true, it's such an amicable and respectable thing on both sides. It's a brilliant story.
Yeah.
It's a brilliant piece of narrative to go, well, why is this guy leaving? Like in like a couple of weeks, he just won't be there, right? And for a lot of fans who don't know the back end, they'll sit there and go, "Where's Dean? Like, what's going on?" And then you'll hear he's dipped.
He's
whereas
on
with this
APW.
Whereas with this storyline, it's like, nope, we know. Like
Yeah,
this is it. We can't hide it.
They're not gonna
but it's respect.
just ignore the fact that he never existed, like they do with a lot of wrestlers who leave the company. They just never say their name again.
Book an injury angle and then they dip.
Yeah.
Right? And then you forget that they're actually no longer with the company until you hear about it.
No one's mentioned TJP.
Yeah.
And he's gone.
No one's mentioned Enzo.
But it's such a
clean... No one mentioned him after he went. No one mentioned Big Cass after he left.
No, for good reason.
Yep.
But it's the way they're handling this Dean exit is so clean and very professional.
It's good.
And it's an interesting take because I've never seen it.
Whether they go, like, this becomes the norm going forward, too.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to know, like, okay, his contract's up. So, and it's just
like
a simple story, like, he hasn't
everyone,
re-signed.
Everyone has been talking about the revival, and there's been that many backstage reports about, did they ask for their release? Did they not? Were they given the belts as, like, a thing, like, just stay and we'll give you the belts? And it's
also contextual because I think no one of Dean's caliber has left to this regard yet. Like, Dean is high profile.
He is.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, he former world champion, member of the Shield, inconsistent top storylines, main eventer.
Yeah.
Right? Like, someone like the Revival just unfortunately isn't the same. And to the exact same degree, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson have stated recently that they're not resigning. Their contracts are up in October.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to get a...
There's been no official word yet.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to get a re-signing
about them leaving
storyline, right? Like,
probably not.
And Nakamura's contract comes up in the summer and he's not re-signing either.
Yeah.
He's
like,
really? Is that confirmed?
That's almost confirmed, yeah.
Okay.
Nakamura is very... that's part of my news, actually, but I'll leave it very shortly.
We'll get to that.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, but what do we all think of Fastlane? Good? Bad?
Good. Above average.
I thought it was really fun. I don't get all the hate it's getting on Twitter. There was just so many people just bitching about every single match. I'm like, are we watching the same pay-per-view? What is going on here?
If you had to say what match deserved the bitching...
I mean, the Oscar match, because that had the dumbest finish I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Oh, I slipped on the ring apron. That my friend...
Actually, I like it.
No, it was...
I don't like it from the...
Ooh, bad times.
Interesting. It's not working.
Oh, God.
Is your mic? Hang on.
Do it again. I think you
switch mics. Just switch mics.
Okay, we're on.
We're on.
Right.
We're good.
Bit of technical difficulties.
That's fine.
I like it because I like it in the sense that
it's
interesting.
It was a different way to get a dusty finish.
Yeah, but it shouldn't have been a gimmick finish. It shouldn't have been. Oh, she slips. Kick and then she's done. Right? Like,
yeah.
It should have been slip leads into something big, and then that causes the downfall.
But
the slip was interesting.
It was the stupidest slip at all because she was nowhere near the apron when she slipped.
Yeah, that's true as well.
I mean, we ignore that for the gimmick. But like, I don't know. I just think because none of the women's matches
none of them shined for me
at Fastlane were over 10 minutes.
Yeah,
even the tag match was less than 10 mintes.
None of them particularly shined. The tag match was
also. At what point do we look at Nia Jax and go, the botches have to stop? They're getting more frequent because she's in that high profile spot and someone's gonna really get hurt.
What one are you talking about in particular?
There was like a back body thing in the tag match that was really badly botched.
And you'd think like back body, are you talking Samoan drop or?
No, I can't remember the exact spot, but everyone on Twitter was going on about it, and I sort of went back and tried to find. I couldn't find the exact bit, but it was, from what I remember, it was pretty ugly. It wasn't very smooth. But it's not the first time, and it probably won't be the last at this point. But a lot of people are once again coming to like put it back in NXT or send it back to the Performance Center for like a few months and just like just get it to sharpen up all those things. But I just think it's a case.
There's nothing against that, and I think
it's
after
nothing against
Mania, she'll obviously move out of the scene.
Yeah, for me, it's just it's becoming a trend that if the company doesn't want people to continually go to this place of like put them back on NXT, put them back in the Performance Center, whatever. Take the initiative to do it first of all. Recognize that there is an issue here, and just be proactive about it. And book her in more sessions with the Performance Center, or just do something. Maybe they might be. I don't know. Maybe it's just these unfortunate scenarios keep happening whenever there's cameras on it. And at the house show, she works perfectly.
Exactly. That's also probably the case.
Yeah, it might just
necessarily a trash wrestler.
No, she's not. No, she isn't.
Just unfortunate spots.
Yeah, it's just a repeating thing that is something that maybe need to be looked at. But yeah, it was just an interesting thing. It's like after all the talk of like all the women's stuff, none of them got more than 10 minutes on Fastlane. But it was a very, very jam-packed show.
Surprisingly.
We had a surprise Kofi match. We had a Andrade Ray match that turned into a fatal 4-way for the US title. They threw a lot at us that we didn't expect it. I called it Swerve Lane. You didn't think that it was that swervy?
No, because when you described the swerviness aspect of how you're looking at it, I agree. The way I looked at the swerve aspect is that at the conclusions were obvious. You know, the idea being that Becky goes to Mania, right? Obvious. The idea being that Shield goes over, obvious. Joe retaining was probably like obvious, but at the same time, still impromptu. I got worked with the Kofi angle. Yeah, I think a lot of us got worked with the Kofi.
We all got worked as well. I was surprised while Mustafa Ali was the third man. I thought it would have been either Randy or AJ Styles.
Mustafa returning to that. Yeah. By the way, Rey Mysterio coming at number 30 Heat. Right?
No, but
it's the Daniel Bryan story arc, guys.
He won him over. By the end of that match.
He won him over.
He did.
And the one thing, about that was it was good that Mustafa Ali sort of did, because it would have been a lot better for Mustafa Ali to be that third and final person, because I think that it was either Randy or AJ. It would have looked a little bit messy seeing the other guys. So, for example, if AJ was in the match, it would have been a bit messy to see Randy come in and interfere and cost AJ the title, or AJ to cost Randy the title, for example. Like it was good that they had their own little segment where Randy RKO'd Elias, and then AJ gave him the phenomenal forearm to sort of set up that match with Mania.
That was such a weird segment. But
I liked it.
It was good.
Lacey Evans got a spot.
Yeah, Lacey
Elias was the star of the night.
Okay, I think I tweeted this. I'm like, does everyone remember that episode of Futurama where they go to Atlanta?
Yeah.
Like the sunken Atlanta?
Yep.
And they have Donovan like narrate the story of Atlanta. I'm like, that needs to be Elias's spot for every pay-per-view. He just comes out like in between, like every second match, and just narrates the night that has been and what is coming up next. I love it. It's fucking great. And then maybe he can have a match. But like just him narrating what's going on is beautiful. It's fucking beautiful.
If this is the future of Elias's gimmick, I'm 100% behind it.
Yeah, I love it. It's like, I like him when he wrestles, but my God, he's so much better as just the guy in ring with guitar and just running down the town. Like he popped a shot at Baker Mayfield. I loved it. He had a shot at fucking
he had a shot
LeBron.
Think of anything to stiff Cleveland with, and he had a shot at it.
The fact that they are one of the worst sporting towns in history. I love it. It's just
they got OBJ though.
They do have OBJ now. That's going to very much date this episode. But
I think one of the biggest takeaways from Fastlane is just how good the mid-card scene is.
Yeah,
I think there's a lot we can now praise.
It's coming along.
Yeah, it's huge. I think definitely on SmackDown, huge mid-card scene, right? Joe with that belt makes sense. It makes so much sense. And it's okay for guys like Mysterio, Andrade, R-Truth, right? To like,
how good was that fucking match?
That match was insanely good. Honestly, I would have booked that for Mania.
Yeah.
Now I'm looking at Mania going, you've just done that. I wouldn't be against you doing it again, right? And just having a different finish and just book the storyline being, I know we've done it before, right? So like we can obviously change like how we go about attacking it. But like, just give it a different finish. But you should have saved that for Mania.
Yep.
Right. Let Joe just go 1-on-1 with someone here.
It's the perfect like Mania opener.
And it's such a gimmick to say, because last Mania was a fatal 4-way.
I was gonna say like Joe Truth for the title. Like Truth gets his rematch against Samoa Joe.
Yeah.
And they'll leave it at that. 5-minute match, easy. Joe puts
That's a waste of Samoa Joe at Mania though.
No, I'm talking about Fastlane.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah,
I'm talking
okay.
Fastlane.
Yeah.
So, no, I was expecting, but, instead of R-Truth being in that fatal 4-way, even though he's done pretty well, I would have preferred if it was a triple threat match. Andrade, Ray, Joe for the US title.
And they can probably do that at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
Like,
I think R-Truth...
Better way to have booked that would have been for R-Truth to take the pin. Ray took the loss.
Yeah, that's a good point.
On Fastlane.
But however, Ray did pin Samoa Joe in the tag match on SmackDown this week.
He did. So then he's earned it back, right?
Yeah.
In storyline, he's earned it back.
But then again, I wouldn't be mad if they made it like maybe a gimmick match as well for the US title. Which I would love to see. Like
add some spectacle to
it. A ladder match for the US title because...
Yeah, who's to say that we can't run a storyline where it's not just one person versus one person? right? Why can't we have a title scene where it's Samoa Joe defended against 3 really worthy contenders?
And because Joe
and make that the story for about 3 months.
And Joe could do crazy shit off that ladder too, as much as R-Truth can, as much as Ray can, as much as Andrade can too.
And Ray and Andrade into the ladder match.
Money. Hello.
Be all about that
There's
shit.
your Mania opener.
There you go.
That has
but
to
it's
be.
cliche because last Mania was a fatal 4-way, I'm pretty sure. Jinder.
No,
Randy.
it was the triple threat. It was
It
it was Finn, Seth, and
No, that was
Miz.
for the IC.
Yeah, but that was the opener though.
No, but I'm talking about the US title also had a multi-man match.
It was Jinder, Randy, Bobby, and
Yeah, the mid card titles have had.
I know,
matches for
but
years
it's
now.
like
It's either
such a thing,
It's either a
right?
ladder match or
Rusev. It was Rusev.
It was Rusev,
because
yeah.
That's right. It was Rusev Day.
Yeah,
Everyone's getting around it.
Because Rusev voiced his concern, telling WWE, "You're not treating me right. I hate you. I'm not going to turn up to Mania." And they're like, "Okay, we'll stop you bitching. We'll add you to the US title match and make it a fatal 4-way."
And what's his face? Who was his dude for a while?
Aiden English.
Aiden English. Thank you. I was going to think it's Simon Gotch. That's the other guy. He was the one.
Who's now commentator for 205 Live, which I've seen
really?
too. Yeah.
He did the Battle Royal, went back of house, shaved his head, then came back out and introduced Rusev.
Yep.
Oh, love it.
It's beautiful.
Love it.
Anyway, Michael, some news.
Yes, so the first news I'm going to give is that there's been a lot of talk in regards to morale around the WWE locker room. A lot of people are not happy at this point in time because of just how it's been booked, basically. Some of the storylines haven't made sense and all that. A lot of superstars have found their displeasure in the whole situation. Rusev, Nakamura, to name a few, Gallows and Anderson, I haven't been booked. The Revival haven't been booked right. There's been a lot of concern as well in regards to what might happen after Mania, because there is plans to have a max exodus of WWE superstars potentially after WrestleMania, because a lot of them are just simply not happy with right now. Apparently there was a toxic culture backstage as well, with how everything sort of ran at this point in time with producers and backstage personnel, and apparently people aren't getting along. Apparently still people are very pissed off that Arn Anderson's been fired too. Like, half the locker room saw Arn as a mentor to them, and like, I know Xavier Woods is not happy. John Cena wasn't happy with Vince when he found out that his mentor was fired as well. So it just shows that, at the moment, WWE is not a fun place to be around.
It's an interesting fact that you bring that up, because recently, probably since the new year, maybe a little bit before, the storylines have been getting better. There's still some stuff that doesn't make sense, like the fact that Becky won the Rumble and then was somehow managed to be tossed out of the match. And in the space of 2 shows, we had Vince McMahon come out at both occasions and change WrestleMania main events.
Yep.
It's shit like that that's you get those moments of what the fuck is going on, but then also you have stuff they rushed Dean back to being a face, but the Shield thing was good, and the stuff they're doing with Ray and Andrade is a really good storyline. The Miz Shane McMahon storyline is actually really, really good. The promo he cut on SmackDown today was quite good. So there is good storylines happening here, but I think because they keep happening to the same dozen people over and over again, and there are the rest of the undercard that does get left out of this on a lot of occasions, I can understand from that point where there's bad morale. But the new producers they've brought in, the new way they're trying to tell stories is getting better. So maybe we get through Mania, everyone sort of just takes a deep breath, goes, okay, after Mania we always reset for the next year of storylines. Yep. Maybe they all just take a look at themselves and go, maybe we are rushing to anger a little bit. Maybe we're seeing our friends go to AEW, and getting these big contracts. But once again, AEW isn't really a thing until they're a thing, until they put on their first match.
Yep.
Sick of talking about it.
Yeah, I know. I'm a little bit sick of it as well. But it's just maybe, and I can't speak for these people because I don't know what it is day to day. There could be worse than we're hearing. Could be better than we're hearing. But it is always the case of the loudest voices, get their way. The people that complain are the ones you hear more than the people that are satisfied. So I just think after Mania, we're going to get a clearer picture of who is happy, who is unhappy, who is looking at leaving, who is looking at staying. And always, it has been the case in the past 10 years, after Mania, we always get the rumors of okay, who are they going to start to cut the fat? Who is potentially going to get released? But in this scenario, it might be, instead of releasing a bunch of wrestlers, they might just go to everybody and say, do you want to be here anymore? and then they just let those people go.
Yep.
Instead of firing the ones that want to stay.
Another superstar as well that they've dropped the ball majorly on as well, and he actually lost a dark match to Tyler Breeze recently this week. EC3 apparently is...
What the fuck is going on with
him?
They've
officially dropped the ball. Apparently, backstage, they don't care for EC3 at all.
Do you think
at this point in time? And apparently, there's also rumors too that EC3 doesn't want to be there at this point. He doesn't want to be there anymore either. Apparently, there's been speculation that he's going to ask for his release from WWE because they feel like that he's been seen as the Impact guy who made it big, and they simply don't care about the Impact guys. Like you saw what happened to Mike and Maria Kanellis. They're
but AJ Styles exists. How can they say that? They brought it up today on fucking SmackDown.
Well, the newer Impact guys. So EC3 was. He was the torchbearer for Impact Wrestling when AJ went, Joe went, Rude left.
Yeah.
It was Lashley, EC3, Matt Hardy, and Kurt Angle.
But Lash is in main storylines. I know he was at the company beforehand.
He just won the fucking IC belt.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it doesn't feel like there was.
It's an inconsistent stiff.
It
Because,
is.
like you just said,
it is.
AJ, right? And then
Joe.
Lashley, right? Joe, right? But at the same time, Eric Young, EC3,
Bobby Roode,
Yep.
right? Like there's all of those, and you add in the context of eras as well. If anyone, AJ is one that deserves most of the stiff because he existed in an era of TNA
where they directly competed with
where it was
Monday Night Raw.
Where it was a direct, I'm going against you.
Yeah.
Right? We are offering a legitimate second option.
When EC3 was the...
Yeah, when EC3 was torchbearer, it was Impact.
On a Thursday
cared?
night when no one watched. Or when, 200,000
So
people
why they're
watched.
copying the stiffs, don't know, right?
Yeah.
It could be a whole magnitude of things that we
I
don't know.
think EC3 was brought up too quickly.
Exactly.
He should have stayed it.
Well, then that leads me to this. Do you think there's an entitlement issue now when it comes to WWE wrestlers?
How so?
An entitlement in the sense that, like we've discussed numerous times before.
So if you're gone through the NXT
if
system...
I'm EC3 and I've gone through the NXT system, let's use another... It's not an example yet, but I imagine it could be with Ricochet and Aleister Black.
Okay.
They were top guns on NXT.
Yep.
Aleister Black was the NXT champion. Granted, right now they're in the tag scene. Some would argue that Aleister Black should
below
be...
them.
Oh, but is it? Is it below them to say that they should be in the tag team?
While they still have the NXT lower thirds, it is perfectly within their wheelhouse. The minute they get switched over to the proper WWE Raw or SmackDown lower thirds, that's when they need to be like, I should be singles competitors.
Grant, fine. But then here comes the entitlement issue. Someone like Aleister Black, I'm just using it as an example, by the way, right? But someone of his caliber goes, I held NXT down for an X amount of time.
He did.
Right? I am worthy of being thrown into the top storyline on your main brands. And then they look at that and go, that's not true, right? Ergo, I'm going to treat you like EC3, and you're going to do the job.
Okay, well,
and then they get that entitlement issue where you're going, well, I actually deserve that spot. Granted, they might have deserved that spot, but that just isn't how it works in this industry, right?
No, it's not. But there are two distinct scenarios.
Are the exceptions to the rule?
That's the thing. Finn
is the
Kevin Owens
exceptions to the rule.
Yeah, Finn, Kevin Owens go straight into the main event. Like Finn comes out, Universal title,
and he wins the Universal title. Right?
Fucking Kevin Owens comes and challenges John Cena and wins. While he's still in NXT.
Yeah.
And then comes up and, Universal Champion within a year of him being on main? Roughly a year.
No, a couple.
Couple of years?
He got called up 16.
Oh, that's right. He was busy doing stuff with Sami Zayn forever, apparently. But it does feel like you come up and it is a roll of the dice. Are you going to get pushed or are you going to be Bobby Roode? Those are your two options, pretty much.
I was going to say more Eric Young, because Eric Young, at least Roode's been on TV. Eric Young is sporadically on TV, if that.
Yeah. Sorry, there's three scenarios. There's main event, mid-card, not on TV.
Yeah. And then Eric Young, unfortunately, him and Sandy at the moment are doing the JOB to every tag team on SmackDown.
In dark matches.
Yep.
Not even on
Which
TV.
is even worse than...
Yeah, I know.
It's Zack Ryder, Kurt Hawkins bad with Sanity.
Yeah, I know, but they're keeping their story alive on Twitter. Like, Zack Ryder's Twitter game is strong.
Oh, yeah.
And he's killing it, like, keeping people aware of the fact that the losing streak is still a thing.
Still here.
But they're still there.
They're going to win at Mania. I think that's what's going to happen. They're going to win a match at Mania.
Yeah.
If Kurt Hawkins wins the Andre the Giant Battle Royal, that will be the greatest fucking thing ever.
Oofed.
No.
It'd be so good.
Even better.
I'll be all about it.
Even better.
What?
I would love to see for no reason whatsoever.
Yeah.
Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins inserted into the Raw Tag Team title match.
I don't see it.
And then them winning the tag team titles.
I don't see it.
From the
I love it. I love it.
No, but then again, I wouldn't have seen Zack Ryder winning the IC title like 3 Manias ago.
Exactly.
So look, fair enough.
Anything can happen. I was going to say, other news, speaking of Mania, we potentially might have Kurt Angle's retirement match set in stone because it might be John Cena versus Kurt Angle for Mania 35.
It's the easiest pick.
Because
it has to be John Cena.
If everyone doesn't remember, or for those who have forgotten, John Cena's very first match in WWE was against Kurt Angle on the 27th of June, 2002. John Cena just put up a photo of Kurt Angle on Instagram as well.
He loves doing that shit.
He did this last year with Undertaker.
Yeah, he did.
And because originally it was supposed to be Joe versus Cena. But I think because
this is the natural pick.
But I think because Kurt Angle didn't tell many people that he was going to retire at Mania 35, WWE have changed their minds when it comes to it. Like Joe versus Cena apparently might be pushed now to SummerSlam, which I'm okay with. But I think the only good reason or the only good thing for Kurt Angle to do is to bow out against a man who he basically brought up to WWE and basically made a name for himself in John Cena.
How are you handling that? It's not like Cena needs the rub, right?
Not particularly.
And
I think
does Kurt do the honors on the way out? Is this going to really help Cena?
Kurt is a traditionalist.
Yep. I think Cena finishes on his back. I think...
Yeah.
I actually think Kurt will...
Well, you think Cena finishes on his back? As in this match or just
this
career?
match? This match.
So Kurt wins?
Kurt wins,
Okay. So Kurt doesn't do the honors.
But I think Kurt Angle is going to do his tradition. He's famous because he hasn't done this in a while. He's going to do his world famous moonsault to end the match, I think.
He's a very old man. He's a very old man. He's a very old man. He's a very old man.
He's had like 17 neck surgeries.
We don't need that.
He can barely move in matches currently.
But I'm hearing as well that WWE are going to offer him a job as a producer behind the scenes as well.
Him retiring from being an in-ring competitor doesn't mean he retires from wrestling.
Exactly.
Like, he will be around. But the obvious pick is John Cena. It has to be Cena. It's going to be a fucking good match.
There was a bunch of names that Kurt put out there. He said AJ, Samoa Joe, and Cena.
Bobby Lashley also was...
Oh, and Bobby, yeah.
Yep.
So basically, the guys I worked with in TNA and Cena.
Yep.
But yeah, I can see Cena like taking him to a pretty fun, if not great match.
It'll be like, let's hit the best ofs.
Yeah, pretty much.
But that's all that match needs to be. We're sitting there, we're not going to get the best of John Cena.
Well, it's not going to be
the best of Kurt Angle.
It's not going to be a 20-minute Matt Classic. Yeah. It's going to be about 7 minutes of just
here's the spots,
the spots, and then we move on.
And let's hit the classics and have an emotional ending.
Yeah, and then both men hugging out, embracing. Kurt Angle cries, John Cena cries. Cena holds Kurt's arm up,
John Cena cries.
And then John Cena will walk out of the ring to let Kurt have his moment in the ring.
He will take off his armband as well,
yeah,
and leave it in the ring.
He will, yeah,
and he'll give it. No, he'll give it to Kurt.
He'll give it to Kurt
and put it around his bald head, and then shine it up, and
then Cena will throw up the chuckers, and he'll walk out.
Shaka bra.
Yeah,
and then my last bit of news. I absolutely love this. This actually came from Reddit. So. We all saw that promo.
Reliable.
Yeah, so we all saw this promo between Batista and Triple H on Raw, didn't we?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Is this the Spice Girls thing?
Listen.
Is this the Spice Girls thing?
Don't have to play
Is it the Spice Girls thing?
Listen to this.
Give me what I want. Is that what you want? Give me what I want. Is that what you want?
It's the Spice Girls thing. Yep. Everyone's seen it. We literally watched it before you rocked up to the studio.
I actually watched it a few hours ago.
Everyone's seen the Spice Girls thing. It is fucking excellent. Just go and watch it.
It's a lighthearted way to finish, though. I thought it was a lighthearted way. It's gold. I love it. I absolutely love it.
We're 3 weeks now away from Mania.
3 weeks to go.
Do we see Taker?
No.
So the first
Vince is angry at him.
Vince is not happy with Taker at the moment because he's doing WrestleCon.
No, he's doing Starcast.
Starcast, yeah.
which is not associated in a business sense with AEW. It's just they tend to work together because the guys who run Starcast are friends with the Bucks. But they are not the same fucking company, which is everyone's been bitching about on fucking when it was announced that he was doing Starcast. Everyone's like, take it to AEW. No, that's not how it fucking works. Do you know what else is going to be at fucking Starcast? A bunch of people under WWE contracts that are backstage personnel but are previous wrestlers are going to be there. And no one's bitching about that, but because it's Taker, because he's still technically an active wrestler, technically, people are bitchy about it, and apparently Vince is pissed off about it.
Fair.
It's fucking stupid is what it is.
This will be the first WrestleMania
without Taker
since
19.
19?
19 or 20?
No.
20.
No.
Hold on, Michael.
No. Since Mania 2000.
Which is 18.
No, 16.
Was it?
So
Mania 2000
Oh, it was
16.
19 years
Yeah, fair enough.
we've had Undertaker on the
Because Undertaker
WrestleMania
was
card.
Undertaker was injured at that point in time and came back a few months afterwards between H and The Rock in that 60-minute Iron Man
What
match.
the fuck? Can you list
That came as his American Badass as well.
Can you
That was the
list
birth of the American
every
Badass.
gimmick storyline that was happening during Mania season every year from Mania? Is that another talent you have?
I mean,
aside
he
from
can
listing the
try,
card?
but we don't have the time.
We don't have the time.
Fuck.
I mean, we've already got. If you go through the archives, I think we went through. I think I said every Mania main event from 1 to 30.
That's right. I remember.
I remember that. That's a
Yeah.
fucking absolutely get that soundbite because that's a good moment.
Yeah. Anyway.
19 years.
Yeah.
And just like that, no fanfare. No fanfare behind.
How
him
many
not
times
appearing.
has he almost retired?
No, I'm not saying.
Aren't you sick of it yet?
fanfare.
Aren't you sick of it yet?
No, but if this is like, let's say he doesn't do this WrestleMania. Obviously, I think it's going to feel a bit hollow in the sense that you're so accustomed to it. You can't pretend like you're not accustomed to it unless he states, "I'm not doing it," ergo retiring. Then you can come to terms, right? Whereas now we're sitting there 3 weeks out. Marks know WWE is pissed at him.
Yeah, I know.
Fans don't, right? Fans sit there and go, "It's Mania season. Where's Taker?" Right? He's a man that deserves fanfare when it comes to whether or not I'm gonna be on the card.
He does.
Like, and that was the story last year. Cena calling him out, going, "I'm gonna show up to WrestleMania."
Who calls him out this year then?
I'm not saying that.
Actually,
that's what it should
That was
be.
still
The
the
story.
greatest thing ever with
Fan Cena is one of the funniest things I've
yeah,
ever seen in my life.
Cena pre-show drinking a beer. That's
I want Fan Cena. I want Fan Cena and Elias narrating the pay-per-views.
Oh, Fan Cena is
be great. But
excellent.
Okay. There is some talk about what is going to happen potentially with Undertaker, and it has to do with a little man known as Finn Balor. There is backstage talk that the reason they took the IC title off him is because they have something big, in quotation marks, in mind for him at Mania. Now, there is no official word on what that is. But
Please let the record show that I'm literally face-palming.
But of all the people left to be put on a WrestleMania card that Finn Balor could potentially face that would be a big deal,
Undertaker.
Undertaker is about the only name left I can think of, unless he's going to fight Cena.
Here's the question. Who is going to be the one to take on Bobby Lashley for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania?
I don't care.
Fucking care.
I don't care.
Okay?
I really don't.
I don't
No,
fucking
the
care.
ideal opponent would be Lio Rush in a face turn. In the next 3 weeks, he turns face, and it's Lio Rush versus Bobby Lashley. That is basically the only.
That's a shit match.
That'd be a good match. Perfect,
It'll be
David.
a good match, but who cares?
Exactly. Who cares? I don't care about Bobby Lashley whether he's a face or he's a heel, unless he's like coming back as the supreme badass he should have come back as and gone after fucking Brock Lesnar, which he didn't. Not his fault, of course. But I would have cared about Bobby Lashley.
Okay.
I stopped caring about Bobby Lashley about 2 weeks in. When
I
Sami
stopped caring
Zayn-
about Bobby Lashley when he pinned Finn Balor for the fucking IC title on Raw.
Well, I was thinking.
I stopped caring a long time before that.
I was thinking to myself, originally they had a plan for Roode to turn on Gable and then have Finn Balor versus Bobby Roode for the Intercontinental Championship at WrestleMania.
God.
Where did that plan go?
All right.
Where did that plan go?
All right.
Where
Where are you hearing this Finn Balor Undertaker?
This was all over PW Insider, Ringside News, and Cage Side Seats.
All right, let's do a really early booking of the card. So let's say it's that. Finn Taker.
Yep.
John Cena Angle.
Yep.
Seth Brock.
Yep.
Kofi Bryan.
Yep.
Assuming, yes.
We'll do a multi-man US.
Yeah.
Bobby Lashley opens the show with some stupid gimmick with the IC title.
Him versus Lio Rush.
Okay, fine.
I'm going with that.
Okay.
Women's tag match. Let's say it's Beth Phoenix and Natalya.
No, I'm going 4-way. Beth Phoenix, Natalya, Nia Jax,
One
Tamina.
from every band.
Iconics.
One from every brand. I like that.
Apparently the thing.
Grab up
hang on,
Kyrie and Iro from
Yeah,
from
Sky
NXT.
Pirates. Fucking, yeah.
Get them.
Well, no, but you can't do that. So, because
Iconics.
Beth Phoenix would technically be part of Raw because Natalya's part of Raw. So you can't do that.
No, but then the champions reside above all. Like, they're
Okay.
brandless in a sense.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Like,
No,
so
but like
you
I'm
do
saying,
that.
like-
I like that.
Do you keep Nia Jackson or they just fuck them off?
No. So go Beth Phoenix, Natalya.
Okay, yep.
as like the really cool
And then
homage match.
Iconics and Sky Pirates.
And Sky Pirates, and then
versus
Boss and Hug, right? Because Boss and Hug.
Okay, I'm down for that.
I'm down for that. I like that, actually. Yeah.
Actually, because the Iconics have been kind of pushing it real hard.
They are. They're doing story stuff, and they're getting TV time doing that. So obviously, I think there is credence to that fact.
They enjoyed their little thing on SmackDown too, which I enjoyed.
I like that. That's a fucking good pick.
Okay, women's
so
tag.
We got Ronda, Becky, Charlotte.
Yep.
Which potentially would main event at this point in time.
I still think it is.
I'm not a fan of where they've
Ronda and Becky would have main evented without question.
Exactly.
It's so they've made it so unnecessarily messy, and I hate it.
It's going to be a 6-pack women's championship match from what I'm hearing as well. So
fine.
For Oscar.
Yeah. So,
stiff to Oscar, but fine.
So we Oscar, Carmella, Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville.
You know what I do?
Naomi.
I do it as a gauntlet match and just have Asuka run start to finish.
I've got to check something real quick. Hang on.
Just have just bury every single woman.
And I'll probably
put and
I'll probably
then call up 4 of them from NXT the next night.
And they'll chuck maybe Lacey Evans in there too, because why the fuck not? So 6-pack for the women's championship.
So far we've got 9 matches there, and then we throw in AJ Randy, and then Shane Miz. We haven't even booked Raw and SmackDown tag titles.
Okay, so I reckon SmackDown is going to be New Day versus Usos, because I reckon they're going to end.
Yeah,
they're going to end Mania with the New Day holding all titles.
Actually, no. I think it's going to be a triple threat match. I think it's going to be the Hardys versus the New Day
but
versus the Usos.
New Day goes over.
I'm feeling that, and then Raw. Revival versus
Ricochet and Aleister Black.
They're pushing that in a singles. Because originally, and this would have been so goddamn good, and I hate the fact that he's injured. It was supposed to be DIY versus the Revival. And can you imagine them doing like
I literally just got goosebumps hearing that.
An NXT Toronto level tag match at WrestleMania.
In like a ladder match or something like that.
No. Just straight up singles tag. Those matches that DIY had with the Revival in NXT were fucking magic. They were our match of the year for the podcast that year. I
think it was the 2 out of 3 falls one that was actually
it was the Toronto one.
Yeah.
So we've just marked out and booked this card, right?
Yeah. So, but if it's going to be, I reckon Revival versus Ricochet and Black, and is there anything we've missed?
We've added the 2 gimmick matches, which are Shane and Miz, and
the 2 Royal matches, Andre and the.
What do you reckon? Okay, what do you reckon?
Kickoff.
What do you reckon? KO does. He's back. He was just in a World Championship match.
Throw him in the US. Have R-Truth miss out that spot. Go KO in the US and have that.
I like that idea.
Yeah, that's fine.
I'd have Sami Zayn return in the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
Oh, Sami's better than that. I'd have him come out. I'd have him come out.
Sammy should be better than that.
He should be better than that. But
let's have him come out and cost KO the US match.
I'll say, but imagine him coming out in the Battle Royale. The big pop he's going to get in that Battle Royal. Everyone's going to be going for Sammy in that one.
Now let's look at it. Now let's take a turn. Look at it this way as well. It's Kurt's last Mania. It's Batista's last. We forgot that match. Batista Triple H.
It's gonna be like a 6-hour fucking card.
Yeah, this is huge, right? We've listed like 13 matches which 11 of them are basically confirmed.
I'd put Bobby Lashley Rush on the pre-show to BTW.
I would also put the women's title on the pre-show. The
SmackDown one, BTW.
It's such a shame.
Which is such a shame for Asuka.
Because her and Charlotte put on one hell of a match last year.
I'm looking something up right now. Okay. So last year we had Oscar and Charlotte in a 1-on-1 women's title match. What was the Raw title match last year?
The Raw title match was
I can't remember.
Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax, and Nia Jax went over.
Yeah, true.
Okay, right.
Fuck.
Because there was some
changes.
weird thing that was like until there was like there hadn't been a 1-on-1 women's main event women's title match on WrestleMania. It was always multi-women matches. It wasn't just 1-on-1.
Oh yeah, very
last
true.
year.
Yeah,
I think last year
was the first time.
Obviously there was
2 of them.
But the fact that we're going back to this, like I understand why they're putting Charlotte in the match because they want both of Becky and Charlotte.
It's a box office draw too.
I get that, but my God, it would have been so much better if it was just because it's so messy right now, and I hate it. I hate the fact that it's so fucking messy.
Just on a card perspective.
Actually, hold on. Before there's one more thing we forgot to add too. That the greatest woman of all time is hosting WrestleMania this year, Alexa Bliss.
Fine. Just on a card perspective.
Yeah.
It sounds like it could be the best Mania ever.
It could be.
Now, I know that's such a blanket, huge statement. Right?
That's a big statement to make because
but on a
17 and 19 were undoubtedly the 2 best Manias.
And 31 exists.
Yep.
31 too.
Yep. 30 as well. As in, like, not 32, but 30.
Oh, as well.
Yeah,
30,
like
yeah.
30.
Yeah. I was like, 32 was trash.
No, I meant 30.
No,
Yeah, no,
32.
The first half of 32 was good. The second half was trash.
It was trash, yeah.
But
Yeah.
on just, like, aside from...
The Jericho Owens match onwards in 32 was
No, I'm not even
was
talking about
trash.
that. I'm talking about from what could potentially be this card.
So I know
Yeah.
Jericho Styles
Aside
onwards.
from maybe, and it's no stiff to them, but AJ and Orton.
That's going to be a top-notch opening hour match.
Yeah.
That's all it needs to be. Just
aside from
20 minutes
those
in the opening
two,
hour.
because that match I think will unfortunately be looked back upon not favorably, in the sense that I don't know, because when you think about the rest of the card,
No. It could definitely be a Randy Seth Rollins 2.0 kind of match.
could be actually. You know,
And
what, you're right.
there's going to be some really like bullshit innovative RKO spot.
Oh, if he gets him from the fucking
The 450 or the it could either be the 450 splash or from the phenomenal forearm.
I did the
he's
450
done
splash.
He's done the
He
phenomenal.
like honestly, if AJ
450.
Styles was properly scouting Randy Orton, he would not go to the top rope at all. He would just go for the Styles Clash. If you would be an idiot to do anything else.
I
But
think
this
it's
is
one of the greatest WrestleMania cards of all time.
It could be.
I think if it's confirmed that Finn versus Taker, for me as a
If
mark,
that
that's a good moment.
happens-
Would you have Finn go over?
Yeah, 100%.
I'd have Finn go over.
Taker's not rocking up on Raw the next night. Vin is.
Yep.
And
I'd have him come out as Demon, and I'd have him go over clean. I'd have
Yeah.
him go over in the cleanest squash too.
I wouldn't. No, it wouldn't be clean.
Ooh.
But is that the way to bring back the demon gimmick and make it actually
yeah.
strong?
Well, he actually strong. But every time the Demon's done something aside from Seth, no, and AJ as well. Actually, he had a good match with AJ.
He
It's
did.
been squashes. He squashed Corbin.
You did, which was so satisfying. It's great.
But you know, we got Batista's final, Kurt's final. We got this could potentially also be Brock's final.
could potentially be Cena's final.
It
match.
Could
be-
potentially be Cena's.
It could be Triple H's final.
Could be Triple H's final. No, it's Triple H.
He'll have one more.
Yeah,
The man will have
and then-
one more every year for the next
Yeah.
5 years.
I was going to say though, if you look at it,
This is that Mania where it's the turning of the tide.
I'm looking at 30,
The old guns of the 2002 class are gone, right?
except for Randy.
Yeah, but like Randy is now at a point where he's not even doing like proper full-time main event gimmicks.
No, he's
Like-
only scheduled for 150 appearances per year.
How dare we? We are terrible people.
Oh, what did
we
we
forgot
miss?
Buddy Murphy's match for the Cruiserweight
Oh,
title
fuck!
against opponent to be named. Who's
That
that guy?
Buddy Murphy has consistently gotten 10 to 15 to 20 minutes, and he's always put on a fucking spectacle.
True.
So
True.
there you go. There's another one. The Cruiserweight title.
That's definitely going to be on the pre-show, though. You know that, right?
oh shit.
It's going to be.
Yeah,
You know it's
fair
going to be.
enough.
Yeah, it's going to be. Which hurts my heart, but yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. So what are we at? 14 matches?
14 that we can
3
think of.
appear on the pre-show.
What does Shinsuke Nakamura do?
What does Rusev do? Like, what
Yeah.
is-
Shinsuke Nakamura was in the WWE title match last year.
Wow, what a fucking fall
Jesus
from grace.
I feel so bad for him, man. But I'm kind of excited to be like, imagine what it'll be like when he comes back to New Japan Pro Wrestling.
We didn't even state Roman.
Oh, yeah. Well, no.
Roman appears in
Sorry,
a match.
Roman versus Drew.
Yeah.
That's probably going to be the case.
Yeah, okay,
I
fine.
honestly don't think Dean comes back to TV.
Look, and if that's the
Until
case-
No,
until Seth wins
I
and he
think-
comes out and meets him in the
yeah,
middle
that's
of
what I was
the
going
ring.
to say. I think once Seth
And then
wins
bye-bye.
the title at Mania,
Bye-bye.
Dean, Roman, and Seth will embrace each other in
It's
the ring.
Dean's last, granted, might not be on the card, but Dean's last Mania. Like,
Yeah, no. It's,
Yeah.
this
it's,
is...
And like, what's going to happen is the fans are going to chant "Thank you, Dean" as well.
Yeah, this... I'm actually ready for tears. I'm ready. I'm ready.
We'll
need-
suss.
we-
We'll see what
well,
the go is.
We've
But
got to drown out as much alcohol as possible before we get to
But-
Seth and Brock.
That's what I'm saying. The build-up leading to this road to WrestleMania, it seems like they're giving a lot of attention. It's, so far, a really good build. So far, all right?
Yeah.
Subject to change. Shit can change.
yeah,
The card itself
yeah,
looks really fucking good.
it does.
It does.
All right, I think we say this every year, but I think objectively this one could be.
You said
Now
that
it's
last
just
year
up.
too.
Now it's just up to execution. But from what we're hearing and from what we know so far, execution-wise, it seems like it's the passing of the torch. The 2002 boys are done. That era is finished.
It's just unfortunately
We are now, and if this Finn versus Taker, I think
Yep.
that would be the decider. If Finn does go over, then it's definitely the end of an era.
because if you look at 32's card, I've just had a quick look at 32's card.
Because even Cena
A few matches at 32.
Even Cena didn't beat Taker.
Could have been good enough. A few matches at 32 could have been good. Unfortunately, they fell short of expectation. Jericho AJ fell short of expectation.
Still solid, though.
It was solid, but it wasn't as good as what you thought it was.
No.
Undertaker Shane could have been something else, but...
I liked it.
They had the spot off the cell. That's all it needed.
You got to understand what that match was meant to just be.
Yeah.
Like...
Shane to jump off shit.
Taker left his gloves in the ring and it was confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then he came back the next year.
Yeah.
And Reigns supposedly retired him. But that didn't happen, did it? and then you look at, what could have been a decent 6-man tag match between the New Day and the League of Nations at that point in time, but then basically it was a squash, and then for the Legends to basically come out and just, send Wade Barrett out of the company in the way he did, and then a few months later, Del Rio was out of the company. It was just Rusev and Sheamus who were left over.
The only thing from that match that will ever be
and the most boring main event in history, Roman Reigns Triple H, because it went for like an hour.
Yeah, it was too long. But when Rusev walked away with the fucking TV monitor.
Yeah.
After that League of Nations match, that was fucking great. And also, my biggest disappointment from WrestleMania 32, Dean v. Brock not being awesome.
Yeah, that one too.
Not being fucking amazing, and it should have been fucking amazing.
But then again, Dean has come on record and said that Brock was too afraid to take some hard shots.
Did you hear what fucking Heyman said recently in the UK?
No.
Absolutely shot on Dean for being the most impossible person to work with.
So what did he? I've heard Dean's side because Dean came out on the Stone Cold podcast and mentioned that.
They've essentially said the exact same thing about each other.
Oh, so
yeah.
Basically, Paul's like Dean didn't want to get hit.
No, he was more like Dean just didn't want to cooperate with...
Yeah, it would have been the cooperation
aspect.
Yeah,
it was basically like neither of them wanted to cooperate with each other because I can imagine Dean Ambrose and Brock Lesnar being two very, very fucking stubborn people.
Well, here's my question about Dean then. Do you think that his shoot on the Stone Cold podcast and the WWE Network was the beginning of the end for Dean Ambrose?
When was that?
Too long ago.
That was when he was WWE champion. When he basically...
So 2016.
Yeah,
middle of 2016.
Yeah, when he basically shot up on everything. Do you think that was sort of the beginning of the end because WWE at this point in time had no idea what they wanted to do with his character?
No, I think...
Well, because he went on and had a pretty extensive feud with AJ after that.
Yeah.
And then they did the Shield reunion, and then they did him breaking up with the Shield again. And then
I think a lot of what is displeasure to WWE comes from is that he had the unfortunate injury that happened at such a peak time.
Yeah, because it was supposed to be him and Rollins going through
to
Mania with the belt, and then it was supposed to be the breakup. And that was going to be the huge story of the summer.
Yeah.
Never eventuated.
And then Roman also unfortunately got diagnosed with leukemia, which put a lot of things in the back
And that was
burner.
like them building up to putting the Shield back together again, and then breaking them up again.
Yep.
And just it's never worked out where they've tried to do the storyline of having Dean be the one to break from the Shield properly and run with it as a proper like a story. Even and then when it was Seth and Dean as after the Roman diagnosis, it just didn't have the steam that it should have. Somehow, coming off Roman's announcement, it still didn't work.
That went so according to plan. I think Dean also thought that way as well when they did that turn. It was such a good turn.
It was.
It's just then the week after it went downhill.
Yeah,
it was as soon as that happened. Dean, I can only imagine Dean just sitting there going, "That was fucking sick. That was great booking."
Yeah, and he goes to TV
Where
next
the fuck do we go from here?
exactly. He goes to TV next week and go, "What do you got for me?" And they got shit. And this is like,
it's
fuck.
Well, what do you mean? I just did probably the nastiest heel turn of all time.
Yeah, it was one of the most beautifully executed heel turns, and then they just fucked it up next week.
I think probably what the beginning of the end of that heel turn was when he got a shot in the ass.
Yeah.
A needle in the ass.
Yeah.
It was reinvigorated by him wearing
of the
Bane
belief
jacket
that
to the ring.
I just don't think...
And he called everyone vermin and all that sort of stuff. It was wearing
that was a good direction to go in.
He was wearing the gas mask to the ring every single time. And then they decide,
and then he just stopped doing it.
Yeah, they're like, hey, let's make you even more of a bad guy. We'll put sirens into your music because they want to know if you're the actual bad guy. Wow.
But you think about how you book a heel, right? I think we discussed this the first time when he turned initially. With Dean's heel turn specifically, his heel motive is directly only focused at Seth Rollins, right? He has no heel obligations outside of that. To everyone else in that locker room, he doesn't care. They're neutral, right? And that's how it goes with everyone, right? So once Dean had finished up that arc with Seth, how do you book him to be heel continuing forward, right? Aside from going back to resorting to just hateful tactics. Because that wasn't what the Dean heel turn was meant to be. It was so impactful because he turned on Seth. So it was meant to be a heel for the situation. But going forward, he wasn't meant... I believe he shouldn't have been heel, right? Because he falls upon... Let's say he goes and fights Bobby Lashley like he did. How can I sit there as a fan in basic continuity and go, I hate this man, but I really only hated him because he did something to Seth. He's done nothing to Bobby Lashley, right? How is he heel for me in this regard? But aside from just looking and appearing heel-ish, right? Which then degrades everything he did with Seth at that point, right? By lowering the value of what his heel was. That's, for me, where it started to go really downhill. And I think he knew that too, and I think that was always going to be the plan. Dean's character is someone that shouldn't have been heel anyway. IMO.
Probably not.
Probably not at all.
I don't know. New Japan's happening. New Japan Cup, good. Anyone check that out? No.
No. I've been way too busy with other things, other commitments.
I watch
happening.
real wrestling.
Get fucked, mate.
Actually,
you piece of shit.
I'll tell you what was good though. World Series wrestling was good.
Oh, you guys can talk about that for a bit.
It's okay.
I wasn't there.
I thought it was good.
It was alright.
So just all right. Just all right.
So Abyss officially has finished up performing in the Sydney show. So basically, what ended up doing, the conclusion of the Sydney show was that they had everyone jump in the ring and a massive chant of "Thank you, Abyss," because everyone knew that was Abyss's last appearance on an independent scene, because he's now gone back to America. He's now going to start working as a full-time producer for WWE, and he's now going to mentor that next generation, which is fantastic. But I think Abyss has had a tremendous 24-year career in the ring. Like, he's, besides Mick Foley, I think he's probably one of the men you could call in that generation of hardcore icons when it comes to it. Him and Terry Funk, as well as Mick Foley, because Abyss was so innovative. He redefined the hardcore genre as a whole when he created the Monsters Ball match, and he, created Janice as well, which I thought was a fantastic initiative too. So I think for Abyss to bow out the way he did was fantastic.
I agree.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
Good way to go out.
I think there's an interesting discussion there on.
I think he's in that conversation as like one of the most iconic hardcore superstars of all time.
Yeah. Who do you?
Because
I think there's a lot of answers to this. But
I put Abyss in that top 3 alongside Funk and Foley.
How are you going about structuring that tier, right? When you come into discussing hardcore legends. So there's one aspect going, they did really cool shit, and they took a lot of cool bumps. Someone like, obviously Mick Foley, but...
See, I would put Sabu above...
Sabu?
Abyss.
Yeah, exactly. But then there's redefining it, by doing hardcore shit.
But I also want to as well bring in that Abyss brought in Barbed Wire Massacre to pro wrestling in America too, which was done in Japan, but he redefined it because him and Sabu did it, in an empty arena at one point in time. Him and Judas Macias, who I forgot who he is now in Lucha Underground. The guy who plays, I think it's. Who plays Judas Macias now, or what's his character now in Lucha Underground? Judas.
Oh, I wish I couldn't fucking tell you, mate.
So I'm
off Lucha Underground. I don't like it.
But they did Barbed Wire Massacre, which was fantastic. Like, having the entire ring filled with barbed wire, having the ropes changed over to barbed wire. I thought that was a fantastic innovation in its time.
No, I agree with that. So Abyss started that. I'm not sniffing this by saying Abyss is not.
And Abyss redefined the hardcore match into Monsters Ball, which I thought was great because every time it was funny because when we saw Gino, Sid, and Abyss take on each other in that 3-way hardcore match, I thought to myself, I'm like, fuck, it's not a hardcore match, it's a Monsters Ball. I'm like, anything with Abyss in it, you call it the Monsters Ball because that's his match.
And you're right, because when you think of hardcore in this industry, ask anyone, who are the names that come to your head right away? I think Abyss does come there. I think Mick Foley probably tops the chart.
Yeah,
Foley.
Terry Funk.
Foley.
Yeah, Terry Funk. Sabu.
For me, it's Foley, Funk, Sabu. But
Sandman.
Sandman. Sandman. When I think of characters that drink a beer on the way to the ring, Sandman tops that for me. He tops that list.
Even better, drinks a beer and smokes a cigarette to the ring. But it comes out to Metallica's Enter Sandman.
To me, he resembles hardcore.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, but that was ECW. That, anytime you think of ECW, you think even to not that extent, but to someone who when I think of chairs in the ring.
Oh, don't say Tommy Dreamer.
No. RVD.
Yeah.
The shit that he would do with chairs in matches with Sabu and shit were fucking mental. And that, to me, I don't know, just because I wasn't a big TNA guy, Abyss doesn't come into that conversation for me.
Even think about it from this perspective.
Yes.
where you're ranking Jeff Hardy. Because whilst we are sitting here going hardcore matches, chair shots, thumbtacks, all that kind of stuff, relatively kind of safe.
Yeah.
Jeff Hardy did genuinely hardcore shit that could genuinely put his body in some extreme danger.
So Jeff Hardy to me is the precursor to Will Ospreay, Ricochet.
Yeah.
That
fair
era of...
Oh, that's a really good point.
See, that era of hardcore that sort of transformed into...
Acrobatic hardcore.
Acrobatic, like, you know, we can do all this crazy shit.
Like,
yeah, that's what... See, like, that's where, like, Jeff Hardy sort of splits off in that direction, whereas, like, everyone else that you want to call hardcore is kind of like, you got Mick Foley at the top, and then even, like...
No, I agree. I think Mick Foley still takes the top.
Mick Foley, Vader...
Yeah.
Because Vader used to do some dumbass shit in the fucking ring. Popped his eyeball out.
But if we are going by that dumbass shit in the ring, I think Foley still takes the cake because he took genuine shots.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean, the dude is now minus an ear, minus a couple of teeth.
Yep.
Yeah.
From his and that's just, you know.
He took some fucked up shots.
I was going to say, teeth-wise, Abyss has also lost a few teeth on the way too.
But then just still in that same realm, I think Jeff Hardy still is in that Rushmore.
Yeah. I think like that's because like he was around during the Attitude Era, and the Attitude Era was all about like chair shots to the head, and blood, and like doing as much stuff as they could to compete with ECW
and TLC matches every 6 months,
biting at their heels. Yeah, but to me, that Jeff Hardy thing does sort of like go in a different direction after the Attitude Era finished.
Jeff Hardy also has come out and said that the guy he enjoyed working with, one of the big men he enjoyed working with in pro wrestling, has always been Abyss. Yeah. Because they had so many fun matches in TNA together when they were together in TNA. They had one of the hottest feuds in 2005 as well, because there was, I think, like there was a no disqualification match, a no holds barred match, and then they did like a crazy Monsters Ball match where Jeff Hardy jumped off the stage and Swanton bombed Abyss to a table.
But there's my definition of hardcore. Like, I'm not sitting there going, hardcore is about how you make the guy bleed the most, right? Whether you do that via thumbtacks, cutting him, or hitting him with the chair. Right? To me, hardcore it's such a broad term. Whilst it does include that, it still includes the death-defying shit that Jeff Hardy did. Jumping from ladders, like consistently jumping from ladders.
Hang on. Okay, then. Where does Shane McMahon
I was just about to say,
where does Shane McMahon fit into that for you then?
I think Shane McMahon does fall into a hardcore-esque wrestler.
Yeah, he also falls off a lot of very tall things.
But it's not like he's the only one who's ever fallen off
No, I
tall
know.
things.
I know,
right?
but like you look at,
Kevin Owens.
Just by virtue of the fact that he did not have that much in-ring talent, Shane's entire career was about, I can do the dumbest shit in the safest way possible, but it's still fucking dumb shit. So he would jump off tall things. He would be put through fucking plate glass by Kurt Angle. He would do the fucking jump.
And literally almost die.
Yeah. I was waiting for someone to say Shane. Because I agree. Because I agree.
Where does he fit into that? Because
I
agree.
We all remember Shane almost bled to death for King of the Ring 2001 because he went, because for some reason they decided to not have breakable glass. It was actually bulletproof glass.
Hilarious. And he told Kurt too.
Yeah,
he
said,
throw me through it.
Do it harder.
He kept saying to him, he's like, fucking do it. I don't care.
And the thing that everyone forgets about that match is the fact that match kept going. They went back into the ring, and then he took an angle slam off a table that was perched on the top rope. And then the match finished.
Edge falls into a hardcore category as well.
Edge was fucking nuts, man. Like,
I will never forget that fucking top rope FU he took from John Cena through 4 tables.
Yeah, but like, there's that. There's the Dudleys, who started in ECW.
You know what I think we should do?
And then came to WWE.
We should do a podcast one week just based on the most hardcore wrestlers of all time.
Try to nut out who the most hardcore is.
Oh, it's going to be tough. Whoa. It's going to be tough.
Come in prepared, boys.
We can call it Hardcore Nuts.
Okay.
Hardcore Nut Shots.
Trying to think. And yet you're the one who thinks the dumb shit around here. Yet Ricky's the one doing it today.
Booyaka. Yeah, I don't know. It is sort of like, where do you define hardcore? But there's a lot to.
That's what I said. It's such a broad term.
Anyway, right before we go.
I got a new segment. I was gonna say, I've got a new segment idea before we go.
New segment was at the start of the show.
No, but this is always good to do towards the end because we've talked about everything that's happened in the week.
Not everything.
Well, almost everything that's happened in the week.
I want to talk about New Japan, but all right.
We can do it afterwards.
Continue.
But let's just say that I want to do a segment each week now where what we want to happen in the next week when it comes to pro wrestling.
Kate Upton to fall in love with me.
And I've actually got a beautiful...
this is wrestling related. Sorry,
it's wrestling related.
Completely just...
This is wrestling related. I've got a beautiful stinger for it too.
Oh, here we go.
It goes with this.
He's just producing stuff without mine.
Give me what I want!
There you go.
I like it.
That little soundbite of Batista saying, "Give me what I want," is going to be the new stinger.
What do you want?
I want clear, concise information about Undertaker's future in the next week or so. That's what I want. Give me what I want. I want to know where the Undertaker's...
It's not going to fucking happen.
I know it's not going to happen, but it'll be nice to know what they're going to do with Finn Balor. That's my takeaway from this week.
I just want to know whether or not in the next year he's going to win a world title.
Finn.
Is he going to be the one to take it off Seth?
That's what you want?
That's what I want to know.
Who takes it off Seth? Who takes it off Seth?
Who takes it off Seth? Roman?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Dude. I'm starting to come around to the Roman heel turn. It might just happen. It might just happen.
Oh.
Imagine though.
Yeah, because after a while they will move away from the story.
I am 100% on board for like this new chilled out Roman.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I love it.
It's great. This is
it.
clearly more like Joe than Roman. It's who this guy really is.
It's what Roman wants to do with his character.
I'm sure it's been what he's been arguing for a very long time. Just being like, just let me be myself. Let me just go out there and be the chill, like just, this guy, he's a big, cuddly Islander dude.
Yeah.
And he just seems like the most chill motherfucker in the world. Just let him go out and do that. He can be intense when he needs to be, but for the most part, he doesn't need to be going out there spouting off these huge promos, being really intense. He's a chill dude.
Yes.
Let him be a chill dude. But he's still big enough to be like, yeah, I believe that guy could beat up anybody. Anyway, what I want...
What do you want?
I want Charlotte out of the triple threat match.
Give me what I want.
Give it to me. Just give me what I want. Because, god damn it, it's so annoying that we had the best fucking story going from Survivor Series when Becky got taken out, and it's like, boom, you jump on that and you make this one-on-one match that everybody wanted to see and we're never going to get, because if Ronda fucks off, which she probably is, because she's either pissed off with the company or she's not, who fucking knows, but I just want that one-on-one match. That's all I've ever fucking wanted. And we're not going to get it. And I don't think we're ever going to get it. And that's just the saddest thing in the world to me, but that is what I want. Anyway, New Japan Cup, round 2.
Yep, go
These
for
are your
it.
matches this week. You got Tomohiro Ishii versus Taichi, Yoshihashi versus Chase Owens, Kazuchika Okada versus Mikey Nicholas, Will Ospreay versus Lance Archer. That's going to be a fucking good match. Hiroshi Tanahashi versus Taguchi, Zack Sabre Jr. versus Kota Ibushi. Goddamn, get around that match. Colt Cabana. Did you realize?
I didn't even know he was still wrestling.
Dude, Colt Cabana is in New Japan for the New Japan Cup.
I didn't even know he was in New Japan. I thought he was still in ROH.
No. He's doing just a little stint with them.
Because 12 months ago, he was headlining ROH in their world title scene.
Is Marty in it?
No, Marty, because he's been doing World Series.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, besides the New Japan Cup, it's a title shot for the World Heavyweight title, and Marty, unfortunately, is still a junior, even though he hates that. You got Colt Cabana versus Toru Yano, so that's the best Western comedy wrestler versus the best Eastern comedy wrestler. Yep. So that's going to be fucking great.
Yep.
And then you got Minoru Suzuki versus Sonata. That is your round 2 of the New Japan Cup. It's been pretty good so far. Kota Ibushi versus Tetsuya Naito was a round 1 match, and my God, it went 20 minutes and it was fucking beautiful.
Who does Jay drop it to, you reckon?
Well, okay, so this match is going to be at the...
Who's left in New Japan?
This is going to be the match at the Ring of Honor / New Japan Supercard at MSG. It's going to be the winner of this versus Jay White for the title. I honestly have Kota Ibushi winning the whole thing.
I'll say this too, that there's only been two non-Japanese wrestlers who've won the New Japan Cup too, and that was Giant Bernard, also known as Albert, in 2006, and Zack Sabre Jr. last year.
Yep. And he had a hell of a match with Okada.
He did. Came up short, but...
Yeah, of course he came up short. So I think it's only fitting that Kota Ibushi beats Zack Sabre Jr. this week and goes on to win the entire thing.
You'll love to see Jay White versus Kota Ibushi.
I just don't see Kota going over.
No, I don't see Kota going over either. No, I think Jay White's going to have this until at least Dominion, if not beyond that. They're
strapping the rocket.
Dude, they are so high on Jay White. So I am
don't blame them.
He's
a fucking phenomenal wrestler.
Yeah, this week going to be good. If you got New Japan World, check it out. They're pretty much all those are pretty decent matches, to be honest.
And there's
noticing a severe lack of. Oh, that's right, because they would have taken out all the Bullet Club in the first round, just so it's not Bullet Club versus Bullet Club.
Yeah,
makes sense.
There's 4 matches confirmed for the G1 Supercard as well, which is Jay White versus the New Japan Cup winner for the heavyweight title.
Looking forward to that.
Gorillas of Destiny versus the Briscoe Brothers for both tag titles, ROH and IWGP tag team titles.
Oh, wait, hang on. They're strapping. Whoever gets strapped gets both.
Winner takes all.
Oh, that's so good.
And then you got
so good.
You got Ishimori versus Dragon Lee versus Bandito for the Junior Heavyweight Championship.
Bandito
was fantastic at World Series Wrestling.
How good is he? Dude, that is a fucking fire triple threat match.
Dude, I think Bandito might be one of the best on the indies right now.
Yeah.
Dude, he's so good.
He is so good. Stacked bloke.
Yep.
But he moves like Ricochet.
He does. He's
nuts.
Unreal. He's so good.
He reminds me so much as well as the Lucha Brothers a little bit too.
I mean, he's
Penta and Phoenix.
He's in that class. Like those guys all together are like coming from proper from Mexico, showing the world what real lucha is, and they're killing it right now.
He flies just as well as Penta Jr. in my opinion.
Yeah, he's so good.
It was a joy watching him perform live in person over the weekend. It was fantastic.
Yeah, and he was at the last World Series Wrestling as well, and he killed it there. I think he had a match with he had a tag match the night we went.
Bandito.
Sure. Yeah, it was Bandito. Who was it? It was Bert versus.
Couldn't tell you. Forever ago, man.
Yeah, it was a while ago. But it was a good match from what I remember. He was definitely the standout.
He had a good Saturday night though because he won the musical chairs that Flip Gordon put together, and he also pinned Marty Scurll in the middle of the ring too. Because originally it was supposed to be a tag team match for the tag titles, but Brody King got injured.
Oh, really?
Oh, by the way, Yang, huge mark on Brody King.
Yeah, the dude is insane.
How good is he? How good is he?
He's got to be all of 6'7".
Yeah, he's a big boy.
Good 280.
Uh-huh.
And he moves like a cruiserweight.
Yeah.
And he could chop like Ric Flair.
He got fucking chop. That when he debuted at World Series last time we went, he got signed to Ring of Honor the next week. Yeah.
Where was he before that, though?
He was in MLW and just the California Indies. So
he's
that side of the country.
Well fucking deserving.
Yes.
He is fucking insane.
I was shocked of how good he was.
Which is funny because when he debuted in World Series, he slipped on the entrance ramp and nearly fucking cleaned himself up when going into the ring.
Dude, he was going to go for, I don't know the fucking name of the move, but he was going to, he jumped onto the top rope. Holding on to two blokes who was obviously positioning him, but he was going to backflip and then roll through and take them with him. Right?
Really?
He didn't manage to do it.
A double Spanish fly.
Oh, look, I don't know the name of the move. Yes, let's say that. But he botched it, slipped, but he recovered, bounced ass onto the top rope, and then flipped back that way.
Really? Not bad.
6'8", 280.
Yeah.
He is nuts.
That's fair.
Nuts.
Good on him.
I'm a Brody King mark.
Good man.
Brody King mark.
No,
and they did classic
really
classic international spot, so like, you know, the kind of moveset that starts every match.
Yeah.
And he did so he was stacking up with Brian Cage on that one. First they started with the heavy set one, where it was like, I'll bump into you, no sell me, I'll go run to the back of the rope, bump into you, no sell me, run back, do it again until like someone falls. Then they quickly switched that into doing the Lucha Grapple International, where push against the rope, do the leapfrog over, go duck down, jump over, and then like shoulder tackle and kip up. He does this kip up from his fucking rolls over, so it's not a standard kip up where you're lying flat on your back and then you kip. He was when he did his kip, he had just knocked over Cage or something, so he's standing, rolls onto his shoulder, and just
continues the front flip
into kip.
It was amazing.
Nuts.
That's nuts.
It was a massive pop as well when he did that.
Yeah, he's one of those guys. Just like he shouldn't. But like
Brody, if you're listening to the podcast, I'm your greatest mark.
Yep.
Let me train under you.
No, he's unreal.
I was so happy as well.
I too am a wrestler.
My highlights from World Series was just watching SCU live.
Yeah, you're a fucking.
Did they tell everybody that Melbourne was the worst town they've ever been in?
This is the worst town I've ever been in. And also Kaz finishes with, I'll SC you later.
Yep.
It's now their new shirt.
I love it. I've actually bought it. I got a photo with them too.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. I was so happy. I was so happy because for me, I've been a fan of Kaz and Daniels for so long, so it was so good to watch them live.
What about
so
Scorpio Sky?
Scorpio Sky was good too.
Everyone forgets about Scorpio Sky, but he's there too.
But I'm glad, that they got the massive pop at All In last year. Apparently they were so over at All In.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they've now signed with AEW.
And so now they're the marquee signers of AEW as well.
Right crowd for them.
Yeah. I'm actually looking forward to seeing potentially in the future, like the Young Bucks versus SCU for the tag titles.
It'd be good.
Yeah.
Christopher Daniels is going to hang him up at some point.
He's 49. He can still move.
Yeah.
He's 49?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Oh my God!
Kaz ain't too far behind him.
Kaz is in his
Yeah, I know.
early
Okay.
40s too.
Frankie Kazarian, I can see the age on his face.
Yeah.
He's world
Daniels
weary.
is almost.
He's
Batista's
still
50.
He's still smooth.
Oh, dude. No,
Like-
but he's hanging a bit of a
Sorry,
gut.
Christopher Daniels is 49 this year.
He's hanging a bit of a gut.
Oh, I'm mad about that.
And
Come on.
like my
He's
big
a dad. He can have a dad body.
Oh,
feelings.
yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. At 49, he
fuck,
can
mate.
still put on very good matches.
Yep, him and
right?
Eagles put on a fantastic main event.
God, I'm so pissed I missed that. How was Robbie? Like crowd behind Robbie Eagles?
Yep,
crowd's
the
always
entire
on
night.
Robbie Eagles.
God damn, he is so close to going to Japan full time. I reckon. They really want him.
Well,
I
actually,
get the feeling they really fucking want him.
did you hear
man.
the news that in a few months, actually, Brooks and Eagles are teaming together to take on LAX over in
Really?
America.
Nuts.
For what promotion?
I can't remember the promotion off the top of my head, but
MLW?
Jonah Rock had his first
Hold on.
NXT.
Yes.
house
I
shows.
retweeted his photo with beef
Oh, nice.
because he's a beefy boy. But he's on NXT main. He's on actual NXT, not NXT UK.
Yeah.
I'm so psyched. I'm so hyped.
WrestleCon he's at.
at WrestleCon.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's
US versus the world.
Dude,
And-
one of the American boys.
That's WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah, Friday, April 5th.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brooksy and Eagles are taking on LAX in
that's fucking
at
rad.
WrestleCon. Well, it's good for them as well.
Oh yeah. Fucking oath it is.
And also, we might as well mention this too, because
Uh-huh.
because this podcast will drop on the weekend of MCW Clash of the Titans. Title versus title, Gino Gambino versus Slex.
That's going to be nuts.
Slex wins and wins it all.
I saw the most.
Shoot.
Slex wins it all.
I saw the most interesting. I saw that it was so
Shoot,
intense.
either
That contract
gimmick
signing.
finish.
That contract signing I watched last night
Yeah.
of them at Uprising was so intense. Like Seb Costello got involved too.
Yeah.
Seb
about
Seb put his hands on Sebastian Walker.
Either gimmick finish
Yeah.
or Gino goes over. Gino is like so fucking good.
No, that's why I think that Slex gets all of it because Gino's going to move on. I reckon Gino moves on.
Interesting.
Gino
goes somewhere else.
I think Gino goes to New Japan too.
Gino goes to Gino NXT.
Nah.
Don't reckon?
You just signed Jonah. There's enough beef over there.
Oh no, they're very similar, and you've got Keith Lee and God, they've got so many big boys in NXT at the moment.
Yeah.
It's like they've come full circle. They signed all these small guys, and they're like, "Fuck, we need
Now
some big
it's
boys."
time for the Land of the Giants
Let's
to come
bring
back.
some big boys
Yeah.
back. But these are all athletic as fuck, big boys.
Yeah.
Keith Lee, dude.
Dude, Keith
Lee.
Lee, so fucking
Lee,
good.
dude.
I think him and Cassius Ohno are having a feud soon. Or
Yeah.
they already started it on the house
They
shows.
always.
Yeah, I know.
Cassius is the gateway.
Yep.
But Jonah's a fucking. He can move.
Yeah.
Jonah can move. Keith Lee.
All right, hang on. Before
You
we go,
signed Brody King. Now?
Oh, and
One before we go.
Also, Joey Ryan too is the greatest gimmick of all time.
Joey Ryan is the best.
He's the hottest
How was
commodity. in pro
the
wrestling.
boobplex?
Oh, Jordan Grace,
Oh,
dude.
Jordan Grace won the World
Oh.
Series Wrestling Women's
Jordan
Championship too.
Grace, dude. We're not turning into that podcast, but
She's so good.
He said to me,
Yes.
he's like,
she is very good.
he's like, I found my future wife. He's like, I'm in love. I'm
Anyway,
officially in love.
anyway.
He was officially found in love with Jordan Grace. Joey Ryan stuck a lollipop in Gino's ass, which was the best thing ever.
I did hear about that. That's
It was the greatest thing I've ever seen in my entire life.
I love wrestling.
I've
Good
actually,
to see Juno go back to that juicy roots. You know, like,
yeah, I actually bought the t-shirts. I bought the King of Dong style shirts.
Good on
I
you.
had to. I bought it off the man himself. I had to.
Joey Ryan is such an interesting person to talk about when it comes to wrestling.
He is.
Like, you
100%.
you got professional wrestling, the one aspect
Uh-huh.
that everyone knows. It's fake. It's this, it's this, but it's like really athletic. And then there's what Joey Ryan has done to professional wrestling. That a lot of, like, journalists, purists, that's a better word, actually, purists, stiff the shit out of him.
No.
But
I don't know why.
he has attacked the industry from such a different perspective and made a market out of it. Like, as a business, I fucking respect Joey
Ryan is
because you
pro
will
wrestling.
never leave.
Pro wrestling is such a fucking wide gamut of like potential. There is potential on both extremes and so much in the middle that the fact that anyone gets pissed about really anything in pro wrestling does my head in, because I'm like, as long as it sits within the constructs of what we take as pro wrestling, it is scripted entertainment, but an athletic show, but an athletic showcase. Anything, there's so much fucking leeway there. There is so much leeway. So you can do whatever the fuck you want.
I love
You know what even the best thing with Joey Ryan is?
What?
Him and Tessa Blanchard are taking on each other at United We Stand for Impact Wrestling in a few weeks' time as well.
He always gets the Impact Wrestling news in.
Joey Ryan versus Tessa Blanchard's going to be the best intergender match ever.
I know.
Like, And we don't even see it coming. Like,
No, I know. It's just all of a sudden it's just Impact news. Yeah.
He'll just slip it in when we.
And I have no idea. That's like it's the week of their biggest pay per view of the year, and he's like, "Oh, Bound for Glory," and I'm like, "What the fuck is Bound for Glory?" Shit. Wait, is that their biggest one? Or is it Slammiversary?
Bound for Glory is normally their biggest one.
Okay, I thought it was Slammiversary.
Like even when I love when you look at him and he talks about it, he lights up.
I know.
He's like, yeah, Bound for Glory is their biggest one.
Remember, guys, Impact still exists.
And there's an interesting take match which is going to main event the show too.
Yeah, what is it? No, go on.
Wait, I thought Cage vs Johnny Impact was the main event.
No, RVD,
really?
RVD and Sabu versus the Lucha Brothers.
That's not a bad match.
Yeah, fair enough.
Fucking good.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad match 15 years ago.
Yeah, true.
Well, the Lucha Brothers were probably still in high school.
Yeah, I was going to say, Lucha Brothers were not around 15 years ago.
Yeah,
but
no, man.
Sabu and RVD were. All right.
It's going to be the best pot smoking tag match ever.
Oh, fuck, it will be too.
Is he still with Katie Forbes? RVD?
Tell you that surely.
Yeah, he's got a movie coming out.
Does he?
Yeah, it's called fuck. I watched the trailer for it the other day. It looks alright.
RVD?
Yeah, like it's about him. Yeah, it's like
Is it about him or is it about John Claude Van Damme?
No, it's about Rob Van Dam.
Okay.
No, it's kind of his story. It's about him.
Ever met?
I don't know.
You reckon?
Yeah, he's still with Katie Forbes. He's got a new catchphrase too now called RVD 420 means I just smoked your ass.
Nah, I love it. Look up what his movie. He's got a movie coming out. Look up, see if he's in his filmography because it looked pretty good.
Like I'd be disappointed if I found out that it doesn't exist, but I'd love to see a photo of Jean-Claude Van Damme and Rob Van Dam side by side.
Oh, yeah.
They've never been in the same room too, by the way.
And like hugging and being like, "Look, I know you hacked my gimmick, but I fucking respect it."
Yeah,
Second Chance.
is that it?
Yep.
Must be something like that. But it's got a movie coming out. Anyway.
As a modern-day adaptation of Charles Dickens' classic A Christmas Carol, sport pop star Chance Love is forced to confront who she is.
That's definitely not the movie I'm thinking of.
Interesting. Really sounds like Rob Van Dam's life.
Well, this is apparently he's playing.
This is like a documentary.
Oh well, this is the movie that's coming out. It's got Brittany Underwood and Tara Reid in it.
Oh, it's got Tara Reid in it.
Yeah.
Okay, the movie I'm thinking of is Headstrong. It's an RVD documentary.
It's gonna
that actually. Yeah.
So by the way, that movie's gonna be straight to DVD.
That sounds like a straight to DVD movie.
Yeah, it's got Tara Reid in it.
Anything with Tara Reid
The
straight
last
to DVD.
thing she did was the fucking Sharknado series.
True, and what a series it was.
Hey, shoot though.
No, I love it. I love it.
She's still doing this.
We'll save this conversation for the movie podcast.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
Sharknado gets a bad rap.
Yeah,
bro.
I know. They're not bad. They're actually pretty
They're
fun.
not fucking bad.
Yeah. Anyway.
She's also in a movie called Ouija House 2, which sounds like
They made a second?
What'd you say? What was it called?
Ouija House.
Ouija?
Whatever.
The Ouija board.
Finish it
Ouija
here.
board. All right.
It's a horror film that went straight to DVD as well. It's got Misha Barton and Tara Reid in it.
What happened to Misha Barton?
Poor Misha Barton.
Anyway.
The OC happened.
Anyway, one last thing before we go.
Yep.
NXT title match is in flux. Obviously, Ciampa's had surgery. We all wish him the speediest of recoveries, but best case
9 to
scenario,
12 months.
9 to 12 months.
9 to 12 months.
Who faces Gargano? Who you got? He's still a heel, I'm pretty sure. Is he still a heel? It's kind of up in the air, isn't it?
He's
Like
funny.
yeah.
He's funny.
Because I've got a pretty good idea of who I
Adam
think.
Cole.
You going Adam Cole?
I'm actually going with Adam Cole too.
Adam Cole? Matt Riddle.
I was thinking Matt Riddle as well.
Bro.
And do you shock the world
Oh, I think they put it on him.
and strap it on Riddle?
I think they do.
The system.
I really think they do. I know they've been pushing that Undisputed Era, it's going to be the year they hold all the belts at the same time.
Because what I was thinking,
But there's a lot of the year left to go. And I think a Matt Riddle versus Adam Cole feud could be pretty
But I
fucking
think...
good.
but I thought Gargano was going to turn face again, and then him and Cole were going to battle
I
for the
think
big
he
belts.
does at tapings, but they may be retaping stuff because of what's happened. They're going to have, because they've announced it on like all their socials that he's had the surgery. So it's like, we can't have next week him show up fit and doing the bloody Dusty Classic with Gargano and then having him relinquish the belt on the same show. Like, however they're going to do it, I'm not too sure. But I think they might have to like rebook some stuff. So it's going to be interesting. But I think, so Adam Cole, and I think Matt Riddle is going to replace...
Bro.
I think it'll be a damn good match.
Bro.
Be a damn good match. Either that or... no, because Velveteen's got the US title, hasn't he?
North American.
Sorry, yeah, North American. Anyway, interesting. We'll see. Because I'm looking forward to the build to NXT as well. It's starting to take shape, even though I've had this huge thing interrupt it, which is kind of annoying. But I think if anyone can salvage a decent pay-per-view out of what's happened, it's fucking NXT.
Also, who's going to take on Raw Raiders for the tag titles? Who do you think is going to win the Dusty Classic?
Well, it's come. Well, I mean, at this point, it's going to have to be what's the Forgotten Sons. That's who it because it was going to be DIY versus Forgotten Sons in the final, and now they can't really do that.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to be Forgotten Sons either by default, or they'll just face some other tag team. And
Well, they got
and
Aleister
win.
Black and Ricochet.
Are they still part of that?
They're in the final.
They're in the final. Okay.
Yep. I think Ciampa was written off TV after. I think
He must have been.
Yeah, Black and Ricochet beat DIY in the semis.
Okay, right. I think it was supposed to be the other way around.
Yeah, but I think Ciampa got injured in that match.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to be the other way around. Yeah, it was like DIY was supposed to be on TV on Raw, and then it was supposed to be Black and
Ricochet on SmackDown.
No, on NXT.
NXT, yeah.
But now they've had to just change everything last minute. Anyway, we're done. We're out of here.
Yep.
You can follow us all on socials, Australia Mania at STRA.
80 minutes too, by the way, boys.
Oops, that's fine. Whatever. I got nothing better to do today. Australia Mania Pod, STRAYAMANIAPOD on Twitter and Instagram, and Australia Mania Podcast on the YouTubes and the Facebooks. You can follow me everywhere at Ricki Needs at RICKINEEDS. That's Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. David!
_ the Halfcast Prince on Instagram.
Cool. Michael.
I'm going to plug Twitter because that's where all my shit's been going recently. Tomo Media on Twitter.
Tomo Media on Twitter. All those links are in all of our socials. Anyway, we'll catch you next week. Enjoy the week in wrestling. Bye.
This podcast is part of the Heartifact Podcast Network. For more of this and our other podcasts, head to heartifactstudios.com.au.